Tuesday, 20th of March. Hope everybody's having an absolutely amazing day. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson, and welcome to the Daily Market Commentary, where we're going to do what we do each and every day, review the same 10 to 12 futures markets, looking for potential trades of both the breakout and reversal variety from an educational standpoint. For those of you that are new to the channel, do me a favor, click a subscribe on the YouTube page so that you get notifications whenever the new videos do come live. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the S&P yesterday and the Nasdaq, both markets, we had talked about shorting the breakout. And really, I say yesterday, it was Sunday evening when the markets opened up and we came below this area. So we've been talking about this breakout for a while. And, you know, there's all the news about Facebook being, not I saw a whole thing says, how do you keep your privacy safe on Facebook? Don't have an account. No, but, with everything that happened yesterday with Facebook and with everything, the tech markets just fell harder than the rest, which frankly was a bit surprising. It's been the stronger performing market. And so I actually suggested if you're going to take a short to short the S&P, now both of which, by the way, worked out pretty well if you were able to kind of hold on and follow through. Now, we did get a rally at the end of the day. Now, the rally we got at the end of the day, I kind of feel like was a short covering rally. If you look at this and you go to a bigger chart, let me just move this actually to the SPY. And the SPY kind of bounced off of a little area here on the hourly. But if you look at the daily, I'm going to throw on an indicator here. And I'm not usually a big indicator guy, but the daily has crossed below the 20 and crossed below the 50. And we broke that rising, this would be considered a rising wedge pattern, I think. And we broke below this rising wedge pattern, which is a very strong bearish signal. So, do I think we're going to test the February lows? We very well could. So you're going to want to be on your guard with your long-term positions. We still didn't put in a lower swing low, though. So we definitely put in a slightly higher swing high, but we did not put in a lower swing low. But we're seeing momentum significantly weakened. So we've had a number of down days here in a row. And so we would need to see a fairly strong reversal coming up out of this. If you look at this on the spiders, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candlesticks in a row. So not a whole lot of optimism there. Our 20 is below our 50. So for the bigger picture, though we rallied at the end of the day yesterday, that's my point is that I'm not sure that I'm quite ready to. I think that I'm not ready to buy into this rally coming back in full force. The S&P is still significantly weaker than the Nasdaq in its big picture terms, and we could get a little bit of a reversal off of kind of where we are now. So I think that we could start to see. I'm going to remove these lines. Hopefully, you're able to catch some of this breakdown that occurred here, and I think that we could continue to get a rollover down into here. I think that there's plenty of room for this market to continue to fall. We bounce down in this region. If I go to the Nasdaq, we don't really have a strong buying opportunity till way down here at 6620. So 6620 is the area that we have set up. I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday regarding some of these areas, and really none of these are what we would consider super strong buying opportunities. None of them elicit significant, I guess it would be confidence in me. Even this 15-minute level is not a great level. It's 15 minutes. And so I think that there's room for this thing to also continue its rollover and come down. Originally, I was saying I wouldn't be shorting the Nasdaq. Now that we're fairly far from the highs, I'm okay if you take the short on the Nasdaq as well. Basically, you could, even if you wanted to short it below this little area here on a breakdown. I know it's pretty early in the morning, and so many of you are probably not going to catch this till later in the day. But even a breakdown below, call it 68, 66, would be a decent potential for an entry. I don't know if this is really going to hold this end of the day. What I believe was probably just a short covering rally at the end of the day yesterday. Looking at crude oil. So crude oil now, I will say this about crude. We do have a potential short right here, 62.97 by 63.25. But that would have to be traded into the area and then shorting as it comes back out. Now at this point, we've put in a fairly close fair price value area next to it, and we're chopping along in front of it. So I'm going to remove this line for now. It's still a very valid area, and I'd be totally okay if somebody decided they wanted to take it. I'm taking it off only because, you know, if we've still got more potential for the short in the Nasdaq and the S&P, I think it's a higher probability than the reversal on this crude oil, and I'd rather stick to the higher probability trades if I could. So I'm going to pull that one off, but if you take it, it's still going to be very viable for you depending on your risk tolerance. Gold, we still have a gold trade set up right through here. It's not quite met entry yet. And then this little reversal point here almost reached it, so we're still holding strong, waiting on that one to get filled. Moving over to our bonds and commodity markets. So our bond market, we had the breakdown below this this broken trend. So hopefully you're able to catch that broken trend short. What I'm looking at now is, you know, we've got a breakdown below this blue line here. I think that we could get another breakdown to get there. You know, I just don't see any reason for us to feel very bullish about bonds right now in general at all. And so I'd be okay if somebody was short right about now, you know, on this breakdown below this little region right here. I think that we could get a strong reversal and kind of continue its move and march further. I say it a lot. I'm very much a breakdown trader when the positions warrant them, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. In the Aussie, yesterday's Aussie trade that we identified has met entry and started to move down from that zone. So ziggy zoggy, oi, 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 as I quote. I don't know where I quote that. Oh, I do. It's from a show called The Man Show, which was back from the late 90s. But anyway, this is my Aussie trade, and this one has hit entry and is starting to move our way. So hopefully you're able to catch that one. I'm going to pull the lines off as that one has worked out in our favor for about a 3-to-1 profit at this point going forward. The euro. So a euro trade, I haven't really set anything up in the euro in a while, because I wasn't comfortable taking a short on any of these levels right here. We put in an area yesterday that might be worth looking at. Now, what I don't like is the time of day that it was put in and created. Kind of that early morning opportunity may not present itself to be the absolute best. You know, you still have the gap fill area from the rollover gap right here, and that rollover gap may or may not show up on your charts depending on how you have your settings set up. Some of you that are in TradeStation will have a slightly different setup on that rollover gap. But I'm going to put that one in for a potential right now as really my only buying opportunity in the euro. In the Canadian, we'd had, if you remember, we'd had a breakdown short below this area here. We're actually putting in a potential for another short breakdown right now. So for those of you that are looking for a another opportunity in the Canadian dollar, I would look below, if I can get the right drawing tool, this line right in through here for another potential short in the Canadian. Last and certainly not least, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. So the Great British Pound met our entry and then kind of weakly retreated from the entry. So I mean, it hit it, it's moved in, it's moved back up, it's coming down. So it's very, very weak. What I would do at this point, if you've got a small profit, move your stop down to this break-even point so that you've got, we call it setting a free trade stop. So you've set a free trade stop, and now it can run to be in your favor. But the trade level has so far worked out and is continuing its movement. Okay, so, one more, I'm sorry, Nat Gas, we got our breakdown out of this one. Now in Nat Gas, you'd have to keep your stop way up here. That's pretty far for a lot of traders, and it's really not reacting super duper well. So I wouldn't be object if you missed this short, I wouldn't be object to you not getting in right now and maybe waiting for it to come below here. if you missed the first breakdown, since it's not giving us a great reaction, maybe take the breakdown below here. If you're already in the short, I think you should manage your stops very closely, because I think that this very well could not hold up from where we are. So it's kind of wassailing along at the moment, and could show us a little bit of strength out of there. So just be aware of that movement. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this thing off. Great. Our British pound trade yesterday worked out well. Aussie trade worked out, and the S&P and the Nasdaq was hashtag gangbusters. But don't be caught on the wrong side. Don't try to, don't try to hold on hoping to be right. Allow the market to tell you kind of what you should do, and this is why I like these momentum breakouts when they do show up and there's room to roam on the other side. So just be aware of markets overall, big picture momentum. That's why I went to the daily chart on the spider, just to kind of show you what my thoughts are on that. If you've got any questions, please feel free to send me an email, chuck@iiefinancial.com. For those of you, I will not be doing a video tomorrow. I'm going to be speaking this evening in Dallas. I'm speaking to a group of technical analysts in Dallas this evening. So if that's something you think you might want to attend, send me an email, and I'll give you the details via email, chuck@iiefinancial.com. So thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.